Over the past 40 years, Richard Sandor has introduced markets to everything from interest rate futures to greenhouse gas derivatives. Now, he's shifted his attention to small and mid-sized banks with a new exchange platform called the American Financial Exchange. In part 2 of our exclusive interview with John Lothian News, Sandor explains why this is the right time to launch the exchange, how similar it is to launching bond futures in the 1970s, and the plan for AFX going forward.
I think the future is enormous. 5 trillion assets. We all think of only the large banks and we forget where the jobs are being generated, who's lending to finance tractors, and who's issuing variable rate mortgages in Kankakee or Des Moines or Portland, Oregon, or Dallas, Texas. This is a huge market, and on itself would be as big an asset class as almost anything. Now, interest rates might just not be zero in the next 3 or 6 months. So the timing, we think, is also excellent. And there's a parallel to the 70s. And we launched the bonds in 77. And everybody said, it's quiet, nobody's going to need it. Then 79 happened with the Fed and Volcker, what was called the Saturday Night Massacre, when the Fed allowed interest rates to gyrate. And so, the parallels seem endless. They almost scare me because they're too ominous. But I rely on the fact that the best time to launch a new market is when there is an anticipation of future needs. You don't really, if you start it when interest rates are volatile, you're too late. And I've learned over the last 40 years, you have to be early to be on time. What's the next steps for the American Financial Exchange and for this index, Ameribor, the American Interbank Offering Rate? We know what we have to do. It's pretty clear there's 9 things that you need, to develop a successful world-class program. And we've done that with interest rates. We've done it with environmental goods and services. And we're going to implement those steps. And what are they? You need volatility. You need product homogeneity. You need, a cheap way to hedge. You need to educate the regulators. You need to educate the press. You need to educate the accountants. You need to educate the lawyers. You need to educate academics. You need to be in front of students. And we have a plan and a strategy, and we will execute it. And over the number of years, we will fully vet those 9 traditional magic 9, as we call them, to implement a world-class market.